and we'll get started. So I don't know about you, but are you guilty of just constantly scrolling down with your nice double chin? Are you guilty of just sitting on the sofa and internet shopping? Are you guilty of binge watching just constantly when you should be asleep? You just got to watch another series or just one more episode that turns into 3 or 4. Do you sit at work at a computer or stand at a computer or a screen in part of your day-to-day life? And do you ever unplug from your phone or some form of device? Do you actually have a day where you're completely not on it, not available? Do you screen your calls, or do you think actually after a particular time I'm not going to look at my phone? Do you go to bed having had a good hour where you have not been attached to something that could be plugged in? I don't know about you, but I think the majority of people are kind of going to go no to a couple of those, or yes, I'm guilty to quite a few of those. An Ofcom report showed that 1 day a week, one adult in every 5 will spend sitting online, looking at a device of some sort. So that's a whole day a week, more than, well, actually it's 40 hours a week, the actual report showed. So 40 hours a week, 1 in 5 adults will actually either be looking down, so they're getting that nice double chin effect, that scowling, maybe the odd droopy eyes, because they are looking at a screen. So it affects all of us. And actually, I would say that as a parent, I'm particularly worried because I've got one child, I don't know about you, one child that's completely can't do without their phone. The other child's not so bothered. And I just think for the generations to come, is that such a good thing? I do think of the Doctor Who, it's the Cybermen, isn't it? Where they're kind of like, they're plugged in and they just get that download, the sort of, you know, like the little metal men. I don't know if I've got that right. Someone tell me whatever they are if I haven't got the right name. So I find it very scary. And as always, I'm thinking everything in moderation. You're going to see me swing because I've got the most comfortable swingy dining room chairs ever, and we sit here for many hours, either after eating or not eating. We just sit here and talk. So anyone that's followed me or seen any of the clips, you'll know that I've talked about the UVA rays, the aging ray, and the UVB burning rays. Now, not much research has been done by any governing bodies or clinical trials or anything about the blue lights. However, one thing is for sure, our eyes are very good at filtering out UV rays. However, with the blue light, they're not very good. So quite a few people, if you have got a job or you're online a lot, whether you're just, you know, socially online, might find that they get digital eye strain, in which case I would recommend the skin hydrating mask. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. By Dermalogica. This is one of the best products I've found in my 22 years of professional skincare. I learned about it in training and I've had numerous tubes. It is always found in my bathroom cabinet, and it is always found in my makeup bag if I'm going out travelling, because you can just apply it. Nobody can see it because it's see-through, and it literally just sinks in and it brings your eyes back. So going back to the blue light, as I said, the research into its damaging effects is in its infancy. Now, they're very good as a lamp in seasonal affective disorder, so also known as SAD. So in this country, vitamin D that we would get naturally from our sunlight, we don't get very much of it. So a lot of people will be vitamin D deficient. I have mentioned that in previous clips, so I won't go too much on about that at the moment. Obviously, if you get into autumn and winter and you're finding yourself quite low, I don't want to use the word depressed, but obviously if your mental state is, you know, you're not functioning 100% and you kind of know something is wrong, or you could possibly be putting quite a lot of weight on, then it could be that you are requiring a little bit more of the blue light that you'll get in those sad lamps. So they're brilliant for cognitive function, increasing your mood levels, increasing memory. Had to think about that, increasing your memory. And it just boosts alertness for you. So obviously you would just have certain boosts of that blue light to bring up your mood level. But obviously with having too much of the blue light, what it actually does is it interferes with, blue light is responsible for governing our when you should be awake and when you should be asleep rhythms in our body. So too much screen time just before bed interferes with that natural cycle, and it suppresses the sleep hormone melatonin. So that's why if you're kind of like, you're in bed and you're watching a box set, particularly on your laptop or on your screen, you know, sideways, then you could find that you're not going to get to sleep very well. And I would say that's particularly true, certainly in teenagers. They seem to be very plugged into their phones. And I've even considered turning our Wi-Fi off after a particular time. But I think there might be a bit of anarchy if I do that in this household. So I'm just leading by example and leaving everything, you know, out, either in the kitchen or in a place where I'm not going to be sleeping, because I do think it affects your brainwaves while we're actually sleeping as well. So if you're on any form of screen whatsoever prior to going to bed, it's tricking your body into thinking it should stay awake. So you're not necessarily going to get a decent quality night's sleep if you are on a device just before you go to bed. So I would say give yourself a good hour before you're planning on hitting the pillow to kind of like just unwind. We need a good 7 to 8 hours sleep to regenerate and rejuvenate ourselves effectively and to detoxify on a natural level as well. It's not called beauty sleep for nothing. So as I've said, everything in absolute moderation, which, you know, what is moderation? It's just, if you feel like you're getting too tired, maybe, you know, put your phone on the other side of your bedroom if you really can't be without it, ideally in another room where no one else is sleeping. Obviously, with most devices, I'm sure you can go out anywhere and people watch, and you'll see people, you know, down, you know, with the nice double chin look going on, scowling at your phone and everything. So I actually want to give you a couple of tips that you can do. They're mainly face exercises, but there are a couple of things. So instead of looking down at your phone, maybe why don't we just look up? You know, why don't we look directly at the screen? If I'm on the phone to somebody on my mobile, I much prefer to have the headset in, purely because, one, it keeps my hands free, so I can kind of like write stuff down if I need to, or I'm doing other things, not necessarily looking down, scrolling at the phone. But obviously you're up then and you're using your eyes to look ahead, because I think being on a phone with your head down walking along is pretty dangerous, because you just, you know, you need to be aware of your surroundings really, and you could well miss out on something as well. So I also don't like doing this idea to one side or the other, because obviously it affects then, and then you could have like one eyebrow up, one down, one up, one down. So, and obviously you'll be scowling as well. So one of the things that goes the same for reading a book as well, because obviously we would look down and necessarily read a book, so you kind of like look up as well. One of my clients does make me laugh, she won't mind me saying this. When she FaceTimes, she lays on a bed and holds it up, because apparently everything then just, it looks flawless. So I quite like that idea as well. But obviously you can't always lay down, can you? But if you're expecting a particular long call with a loved one or a girlfriend and you can have a good old chat, then you want to be nice and comfy. So I do really like that idea as well. Okay, so if you find yourself scowling like this, I look really good, don't I? And like wrinkles appearing, one of the easiest things to do is just tap it out. And particularly here, I don't necessarily have those, I don't know if I can do it. There we go. So if you permanently look like this, or, you know, it's kind of like when you're really, you know, when you're concentrating really hard and you look like this, just tap it out and it starts to relax those muscles out as well. Now, droopy eyes, I have given this tip out before. So you want your hair off your forehead, and what you're going to do, so this is not a good look, is it? No, not a good look at all. This one does really work because I notice I suffer with it as well. So you are literally just going to put can you just see? You are literally just going to put your hand on your forehead. The idea is very light pressure because you're going to stop your forehead moving, because most people can't do it. And then you are literally just going to open your eyes. See? Can you see me opening my eyes? And actually my forehead is not moving because my hand is actually pressing it. And you do this about 10 times. And all that is doing is it's literally opening up the whole of the eye area. It's really, really simple. Another one, obviously, you might want to do this in the privacy of your own bathroom or anything. Most of these you can do wherever. Is you are literally just going to do a V with your eyes. So you're going to look over to one side, and then you're going to look over to the other. And again, you're just doing a light pressure to start with on your forehead to ensure that your forehead stays smooth. And you want to do that 10 times too. So literally you just go, it's literally like over to a V, come back, over to another V, and do it again. You can do it slowly, I would, because otherwise you feel a bit weird on that one. And then, so that's really good. So you've got your tapping for your forehead with your frowns. Now what you can do is, if you really, really want to knock the frowning into touch, is you can ask the loved one to just say to you, oh, you're frowning again. Now, it's up to you whether you do this, because there could be a reason why you're frowning, because some people permanently do frown because they're just so unimpressed all the time. But it could be you're frowning because you are unimpressed, maybe with your loved one, and then they go along and go, you're frowning again. They might get a slightly more aggressive response than they're banking on. So it's entirely up to you if you want to get them on board, or if you just want to go, oh, I'm probably frowning, and just tap away. But I think this one is really good. You just look weird to do that. But you can actually feel it lifting underneath your hand. So I just think that's great. You know, if you want to go the Botox and fillers route, go for it. I can probably recommend somebody, but I personally don't want to be putting that into my body. So if these facial exercises are going to give me the same results and I can do them every single day and it's not costing me any money, I think I'm going to do that. So that's that one. So, okay. So for, with the double chin, I'm just going to have to, if I just move my hair out the way and just put these round. Whoops. I didn't think that one through, did I really? Let's see. Okay. So with this one, okay, so you've got the double chin going on, yeah? I'm looking really attractive, aren't I? Okay, so if any of you have seen this before, so you've got the swan, so you are literally going to go straight up and air kiss. And you're going to do that for 10. So you straighten your neck up and you air kiss. And what you'll do is you'll feel it down here, and this actually helps this little bit. A good one, now you can do this if you are particularly one of these people that think you get really agitated and you feel that if you actually voice what you really want to say, it might not go down very well. So you kind of literally, you clamp your jaw down, or if you grind your teeth at night time, this will actually really help. So just with your thumbs, you are literally just going to start underneath the chin and go to the outside of where your mouth stops, yeah? And then you're just going to press up a little bit, and then you're going to keep going just to your jaw. Now, if you have, can you see that? Look at that line. Now, that's how your jawline is going to end up after doing these exercises for a little while, I promise. Okay, so if you are finding any pressure on that area, that means you have got quite a bit of tension there. So booking yourself in for just like a facial massage would be a really good idea. So you're literally just going to come along and it's just going to drain. This has a couple of benefits. So you're just draining, so you've actually got lymph nodes into your ears. So you are literally just draining away, starting at your chin, just coming to the outside of where your mouth is, and you're just gently going to just go up, And then you're just going to keep coming round on those thumbs underneath your jawline, up into, and here, I can feel a bit of pain. I don't know if you're following along with me. And then you're just going to press up into there, and it just releases everything. And it actually feels really, really lovely. You can almost feel like just the stress just going into the little lymph nodes for your lymphatic system to just drain away completely. So that one actually feels really, really lovely. Now this other one, I can't believe I'm actually going to do this on the internet because I don't look good doing it. So literally, so you want your shoulders down and you're just going to see all of these lines come up, and you are literally just going to go, and you're going to make that noise as well, because the more sound you can make, the more strain you've got. So you've got your shoulders down and you're kind of doing the grimacing look. You go, can you see that? Great, isn't it? Look, that looks amazing, doesn't it? And again, this relaxes all of this down and it starts to bring all of this up, which is what we want. See, look, we could just, see, look, that's what we're aiming for, aren't we? We're aiming for really tightness. Now, I've had my passport picture redone. I haven't got it here. I'll have to post it online. 10 years ago, I've just had it renewed, and the only bit of me that has dropped is this tiny little bit. So I've started to do these exercises big time because I'm like, no, we don't want any more of it dropping. So literally, shoulders down, you're going for this look, and that's what that noise you're going to make. Literally, he. And it's strengthening all of this, and it's also relaxing everything down, and you want to do that 10 times. So I know they look weird, but I'll tell you what, the next time you end up looking like this, or you see someone doing it, I guarantee you're going to think of one of those exercises and think, what did she say? She must have said, I know she said something. So I'm hoping those little nuggets of information are actually going to help you, and I can't wait to see lots of people doing this when they're getting really stressed, because it's also, tapping is a pattern interrupter. So the fact that you're actually kind of trying to do this and then you do that, you're actually interrupting all of it. But this one, particularly if you find that you can't actually say what's really on your mind, you'll find that draining this away will actually really, really help you. And a little bit of air kissing. I hope you found it informative. As always, I'm here. So no matter what your skincare concerns are, or if you are worried about, maybe everything's heading a little bit more south than you'd like it to be, just literally pop in the comments and I will get in touch with you. I do read all of the comments, and as always, I hope you found the tips that I give out fun and informative, and actually they really, really work. So I will see you very shortly.